Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to day number 16 of the Superstar SEO 30-day video challenge. I am your host for this evening's festivities, Chris M. Walker, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that gets a lot of attention in any online space, how to make money online type space. But that is how to make $200 a day or more at 17 with SEO. Now, technically, you can make this at any age. I just put 17 because that's the question I see the most often is, I'm 17. What can I do to get started? How can I make money now? Yada, yada, yada. So I figured I would pick that age. But again, this applies to everyone from an infant up to a centenarian. That may be a slight exaggeration, but you get the idea. The age doesn't really matter, but this is what we're going with today. Plus, it's great clickbait. So without further ado, let's dive right into way number one.
So you want to be a rock superstar and live large, big house, 5 cars, you're in charge.
Way number one to make money with SEO is SEO client consulting. Client consulting means that you take on someone's local business, whether it's a plumber or a real estate agent or an electrician or whatever it may be, and then you rank their site in Google in exchange for money. There's a little bit more involved to it sometimes, but that's basically the gist of it. And this is probably the fastest way to make job replacing income and make, like we said, $200 or more a day. So what are some of the advantages to doing SEO client consulting? The advantages are you get paid right away. So if I call up someone and I say, hey, your site's not ranking in Google, would you like me to rank it for you? Don't use that exact sales pitch. It will not work. Friendly tip. And they say yes, you get paid that day. So you can walk away with, 1,000, 2,000, 1,500, 3,000, whatever it is that you agree on right away. So you're instantly getting paid. You see, there's almost no overhead to it. If you can sell, you can do this. Obviously, that's gonna depend on your sales skill. When you have no credibility, you're gonna have to have improved sales skill. But I know people that have started like a course and we're selling people the next day. So it really just depends on your ability. But in theory, there's almost no overhead. It's easy to scale quickly. So, you could make, a few hundred calls in a week and pick up 4 or 5 clients. And that's, $10,000 a month right there. So it's really easy to go from zero to a 6-figure a year income doing client consulting. It's a legitimate business. So some of these other things are a guy sitting at home building a website, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not a business in the sense that you can go out and tell people that I own an SEO agency or whatever. So hopefully that makes sense. It's a real agency. It's something to be proud of. Not that all these methods aren't something to be proud of, but you can present yourself as a business owner at a Chamber of Commerce meeting or something like that. So those are the main advantages. The disadvantages to SEO client consulting are you still kind of have a boss, right? So you still work for yourself and you can fire clients and things like that, but in the long run, you still kind of have to answer to them on if you're getting results or not. So it's still, if you're in this to work for yourself and not have to report to anybody, you still kind of have a boss when you're doing SEO client consulting. The big one for me is that you're still building someone else's business more than your own. Even if you're making, $5,000 a month or more from a client, they're making way more than you are, and you are getting more revenue for them than they are getting for you. So that's, to me, is a drawback. Some people don't mind that so much, but to me, that's kind of a downside. I want to be making all of the money possible. So you still have to another disadvantage is you have to constantly sell. In order to make this business model work, you have to constantly keep your pipeline full and keep getting new clients because people are going to drop off and you want to keep making more and more money. So you're going to constantly be selling. You're going to be more of a salesperson than you are an SEO. So that's kind of a drawback. And then the final one is you don't really have any assets. You don't own anything. You're just providing a service. So if you want to stop, the only way to build a future with it is to save money or to reinvest it into other things, but you don't have a way to really sell it and make an exit out of the business, and you don't have any assets of any kind because even your customer list isn't really something that you can kind of sell. So that's kind of a drawback to SEO client consulting as well. So that brings us to that. Next, number 2 is Leadgen. Now, Leadgen is very similar to client consulting in that you're ranking sites and getting new business for small businesses. But what you're doing in this case, instead of ranking their existing site, is you're ranking a site or other method of getting leads that you own. And you're selling the leads to a client, whether it's through a call tracking or however you go about it. So There's some advantages to this that you don't have with client consulting. For example, you own the asset. So you're creating a site, you're ranking it, and then you're just selling the leads that it generates to a customer. And by the way, I know someone's going to ask, there's a lot of ways you can do it, but the most common one is you go rent a phone number from some place like Callfire, and you forward the client's phone number to that, and it generates a report of how many calls it made, and you sell them you charge them based on how many calls they got. That's the most basic model. If you want to learn more about that, just dig into it. There's a lot of information out there. So, anyway. The next thing is if they let you go, if they drop you, it's easy to just change that phone number out and point it to a new client. So instead of having to go find a new client and re-rank them again, you already have an asset that's ranked. So it's just a matter of going and selling somebody else and then switching out the phone number. So you're already ahead of the game in that way. And it's an easier sales pitch, right? You already have something like when they sign up with you, okay, so let me start over. As an SEO client consultant, you are starting from nowhere, and it may take 4 months, 6 months, a year to get them ranked. With this, you already have a site that's ranking, so you can say, if you sign up, we can start getting you calls today or tomorrow or whatever. So it's a little bit easier of a pitch to hit, I think. So that's just another thing. Some of the disadvantages are you have to do all the SEO before making any money, right? So before you can sell leads, you have to be able to generate leads. In order to do that, you have to buy the site, get it ranked and everything. So there's a bigger gap from the day that you start till the day you get paid than there is with client consulting. So that's kind of a drawback. You still have to constantly be selling because, again, you have to keep your pipeline full. You have to constantly get new clients and new customers, what have you, in order for this to grow and to keep making you money. And once again, you still kind of have a boss because you're still at the mercy of your client, and you still kind of have to report to them why they're getting results. Not quite as bad with client consulting because with this, if you're not getting them results, they're not paying you. So it's not like they have that leverage, but it's still kind of having to report to somebody else. And again, you're building someone else's business more than your own. If you're selling somebody a lead for $100, that means they're making probably, I don't know, $1,000 or something. And so they're still making the bulk of the money. So that, to me, again, is a drawback. So way number 3 to make money with SEO is rank and rent. Rank and rent is very similar to Leadgen. Basically, you are going to rank a site for a term, and you're going to use a piece of software that will put what they call an iframe or a light box over that site, and then it'll be somebody else's site. So, for example, if I rank a site for Myrtle Beach paving contractor, a site that I own, and then I call up this company and say, would you like to be number 1 for Myrtle Beach paving contractor? I can then just use a piece of software to make their website show up over top of mine. So that may sound a little complicated. It's really not that bad. So that's how rank and rent works. And much like Leadgen, the advantage is that you own the asset. So it's a website. You can just swap out somebody's website when they drop you for a new client. So you have something that you own and something that's yours that you have. Again, it's easy to switch to a new client because, once again, you can just say, well, if this client drops you, you can just switch it out for somebody else's website. And it's an easier sales pitch. Like, you can call someone and say that, hey, would you like to rank number 1 for, I don't know, whatever example I just choose, Myrtle Beach paving contractor. And if they say yes, you're like, okay, well, I can have you there in the next 10 minutes if that's okay. So, sold, right? That should be an easy pitch to hit. So that's the advantages to rank and rent. The disadvantages are going to be very similar. You have to do all the SEO before making any money. You can't give somebody a number 1 ranking without already having something ranked. So you kind of have to put in all the work and spend all the money to get it ranking before you can make any sales. So again, there's a gap between the day that you start and the day that you get paid. It requires constant selling, just like lead gen and client consulting, because you got to keep your pipeline full. You got to keep customers coming in. You still have a boss because, again, you are still having to answer to someone. Once again, not as bad as client consulting because, they're paying you. They're only paying you for as long as you're doing the service. This one, it's a little unique because they may start thinking, it depends on how well you frame them, but they may start thinking, I'm not getting any sales. Why is that? That's not your fault. Your goal is to get them to number 1. So that's kind of an aside. And then once again, you're still building someone else's business more than your own. If they're happy with what they're getting from you, that probably means they're making more money than they're giving you. So again, you're building somebody else's business more than your own, which to me is just not the ideal situation. And the last thing with this is it's kind of gimmicky. Not everybody's going to understand it when you explain it to them, because I guarantee that some of the people watching this right now are like, I still don't get it. How am I going to show up my website over top of their website? It shows my website in search results, but then it'll be mine. It can be kind of confusing for some people, and to me, I've struggled a little bit with explaining that sometimes. So not everyone gets it. So it's a little bit trickier to sell. So that's that. Way number 4 to make money with SEO at 17 or whatever age you happen to be is affiliate marketing. This is what I first started off with, and I think it's what appeals to a lot of people that get into SEO. And that is because one of the things is that it's semi-passive, meaning that once you get it ranking and making money, all you have to do is maintain that ranking. It doesn't require you to get up and sell and do a lot of that sort of thing. So which brings us to another point is no selling. You don't have to sell anything, at least not in the sense that you're calling people or emailing people or that sort of thing. You are just putting up a website, and the site should sell the traffic that gets to it on its own. So that leads us into the next bullet, which is that you don't have a boss. You have no one to report to but yourself. All you have to do is make sure that your site is ranking and making money and getting traffic and that sort of thing. And again, the advantage here is you own the asset. So it's a site that you own, that you've created and got traffic to and sold somebody else's product. And again, if you don't know what affiliate marketing is, it's basically where you put someone else's product on your site, and when someone clicks your link and buys that product, you get a commission. So it's kind of like a commissioned sales job, more or less. So hopefully that makes sense. Those are the big advantages to it. This is really, really appealing to a lot of people, including me in the beginning. So it's something that you're going to hear a lot about. The disadvantages to affiliate marketing are, once again, you have to do all the SEO before you make any money. So obviously, until it starts ranking and getting traffic, you're not going to make any money. So you got to do that. So again, big time difference between the day you start and the day you get paid. Probably more so than any of the other ways we've talked about so far. Yeah, with this, you have to learn how to make the site convert. So with a client site, if you sell them SEO, you're just selling them the ranking. At least that's how you should be doing it. But with this, you have to not only get people to the site, you have to set up the site in such a way that it converts, whether it's the way your images look, the type of content you have, whatever it is. You have to make sure that it converts and makes sales. So that's another aspect to it that you have to learn. Sales copy and that sort of thing. Conversion rate optimization. You are another disadvantage is you're completely at the mercy of Google's algorithm. So if they change it tomorrow and they flip the switch and your site is suddenly not ranking at all, your income is completely shut off. So with a client, if that happens, they need you more than ever, right? Like now they're not ranking and they need an expert to get them back up. With this, you just aren't getting paid until you get it back ranking. So that has happened to me. It's not fun. And it's a huge drawback to affiliate marketing. And the last one is there's a lot of shady affiliate programs out there. There's some really good ones, and you can find those pretty easily, but there's some that are really sketchy. They promise things, they don't pay what they're supposed to, they don't track the clicks properly, and so on. So you got to be really, really careful with who you pick to choose from. Just a quick note on this, I didn't include CPA marketing as a separate thing. It's pretty much the same, except the offers are a little different and they don't last as long. But CPA, which stands for cost per action, is basically the same concept as affiliate marketing. But sometimes you're only selling like a form fill or something like that and not necessarily a product. So that's the main difference there. So hopefully that makes sense. Number 5 way to make money with SEO is selling SEO services. Now, what I mean by this is something like doing SEO for other people that do SEO. So it could be selling links that you build. It could be writing content, social signals, lots of different ways you can go about it. This is something that's worked really, really well for me and been very, very good to me. So it's probably my favorite one. I think let's just get into it. It's easy to start. If you know how to do anything at all, you just start offering it on a site like Legiit or Fiverr or Conquer, and you can start selling, or Upwork, and you can start selling it right away. That's what's great about it, is that you can literally have a business if you start in the morning, you can have a business by afternoon. Again, you have no boss. You can sell whatever services you want, work at your own pace, more or less. You don't have to report to anybody other than maybe your customers, but it's not quite the same relationship that you have with a monthly client. And it's just you and your abilities. You only have to do the things that you like. So, for example, if there's parts of SEO that you have to do that you may not like when you're ranking a site or doing something for a client. For this, you just offer the portions of it that you're good at or that you enjoy doing. So if you don't like, for example, setting up PBNs, you don't have to do it. I don't like doing it, and it's not something I offer anymore. But if you like building links, or if you like setting up PBNs, whatever it is, you just choose the different things that you want to do. It's kind of a Chinese menu, right? You just pick the things that you want. So, and the last one is there's an asterisk next to it because it depends on the platform. If you use a platform like Legiit, you can build a nice big email list and a retargeting list, so you can constantly send new offers and drive traffic to your customers and really get a lot of extra sales that you wouldn't get if you just relied organically on the platform. You can't really do that with Fiverr at all. They have strict control over what you can do with your clients and your customers on there. Conquer allows you a little more flexibility, but not quite the same that Legiit's going to do. So be on the lookout for Legiit when it comes out. And full disclosure, I own it and I am the founder and will be working on it. But that's from my experience in doing this is why I'm setting it up the way I'm setting it up. So keep an eye out for that. Legiit.com. The drawbacks to selling SEO services are it's harder to scale because even the most expensive ones, you're looking at maybe I don't know, to $500 or something, and that's really on the high end. Most of them start at $5 and go up to maybe $100. So you have to get a lot more to build up a lot of income. Not saying you can't do it, but it takes a lot more transactions to get to a level where you're making a lot of money. So that's one of the big drawbacks to it. Another one is, once again, you're at the mercy of someone else's platform. The platform I'm creating will give the seller the most freedom of any platform that they've had out there, and it'll be able to give them the best experience for their buyers, but it's still somebody else's platform unless you want to put it on your own site like on Shopify or WooCommerce or something like that. So that's one of the drawbacks. And this drawback is there's lots of competition. So there's nothing you can do that's unique, basically. I mean, I don't mean to sound negative, but whatever skill you have, somebody else has it too. So there's a lot of competition, and you have to find a way for yourself to stick out, whether it's through better pricing, better customer service, whatever. So you gotta be a little more strategic in the way that you beat the competition. So that's the drawbacks to selling SEO services. Number 6 is selling SEO info products. That's things like courses, mostly things like courses. I can't really think of anything other than courses that this applies to. Courses are a great way to make money. One of the advantages is that that's supposed to say disadvantages. I skipped ahead there. One of the advantages is that once you make the product, it's an asset forever. So if you make a course, you don't have to do the work ever again. You have it, it's yours forever. You can sell it over and over and over and over again and not have to worry about creating more things or running out of stock or anything like that. This one may not appeal to some people, but to me, it's very, very important. I like to help others, and I like to give information and help. And this, more than anything, is the way you can help other people in the industry. Some people may disagree, but they're wrong and I'm right, because without buying courses and without learning more, you're never going to advance. And this is what's gotten me to where I am more than anything else. So it's definitely the best way you can to give back. You have virtually unlimited different products you can make. There's a ton of different angles on courses that you can create, different things people need to know, different ways to package it and sell it to people in a way that's useful to them and profitable for you. So, and again, it's almost pure profit because like the only overhead you have is your time and maybe like the software you need to record it and organize it in a membership site. So there's almost no overhead. It's almost pure profit. The disadvantages, and this should say disadvantages, not advantages, I apologize. But the disadvantages are that people are very, very skeptical of course creators. I don't understand why, but if you make an ad and you look at the comments, they're going to be nasty a lot of the time. You're just trying to make money. Well, yeah, this is a business. It's not a charity. I am trying to make money, but I'm also trying to offer you something that may help you make some money or change your life in some way or another. So it's a very jaded market, and you have to have a thick skin to deal with that. And it's going to make it a little harder to sell because you have to break through those objections. So you have to constantly launch new products if this is your only way of making money. That's a drawback, right? It gets very exhausting making courses and videos and so on and coming up with new ideas. So it's a perpetual state of constant launching and creating new things. You have to do paid advertising and webinars. I don't have a problem with this at all. You have to spend money to make money. and you have to sell, and webinars are a great way to do that, but both of these are very terrifying to some people, and they are a skill of their own that you have to pick up in order to do this, so there is a bit of time and learning curve there. So, and you're responsible for other people's success. Again, I don't have a problem with this, but there is a certain liability to it, because if you care about the people that buy your course, you want them to take the action and succeed, and sometimes they're not going to do that, or they're not going to get it, or they're going to have a lot of questions, and it's going to take up a lot of your time, and that's a drawback for some people. So you're not always in a great place to help them succeed and that sort of thing. So that's kind of a drawback there. And the last way to make money with SEO is SEO software. This is one I'm just getting into myself. It's kind of the end game for me right now. There's the advantages of it are they're hugely profitable. You can make a software for $20,000 or $30,000, or maybe even less if you want to start with like a plugin or something and make that for a couple $1,000, and like within an hour of launching it, you can make all your money back. So it's hugely profitable. If you set up certain types of software, you get recurring payments, so you're getting paid regardless. So once the software is set up, all you have to do is maintain it, and you're going to get paid month after month after month after month. Gives you a huge asset, so you actually own something that's very powerful and something that is easy to sell and explain to a potential investor or buyer or whatever. So you have it, and you can sell the whole company at the end. That's a great way to get an exit and to really make some long-term, really big money. So there's a lot of money to be made in SEO software. It's really, really great way to grow and go from there. The disadvantages, and once again, I forgot to write disadvantage on the slide, so forgive my slacking, but it's really expensive to start. Even something like a plugin, you're looking at probably a couple of grand to get it going, like a WordPress plugin or something like that. So it's expensive to start, expensive to market, and so on like that. So you're going to have some money to make this work. So that's probably, it's not beginner accessible like some of the other things we mentioned. So it's hugely complicated. Everything else I've explained, you kind of probably got it more or less from it. But in this, you have to come up with a concept, and the guts of it, or unless you're a programmer, are probably going to be confusing to you. So it's not as accessible or whatever that way. And then it requires constant attention. Software breaks, platforms change, the market changes. You have to really stay on top of it to make sure it keeps working, keeps delivering people a good experience, and so on. So you have to really dig in and make it work. So there you have it, the top 7 ways to make money with SEO at 17 or at any age. So let's do a quick recap. Number 1 is SEO client consulting, doing SEO for small businesses. Number 2 is Leadgen, creating a site, ranking it in Google, and selling the leads that it generates to businesses. Number 3 is Rank and Rent, creating a site, ranking it in Google, and then light boxing with a piece of software somebody else's site over top of it, so they get the advantage of that ranking. Number 4 is affiliate marketing, putting someone else's product on your site, driving traffic to it with SEO, and getting sales of that product. Number 5 is SEO Services, doing link building, PBN creation, content creation, and so on for other people doing SEO. Number 6 is SEO info products, creating training courses to help people learn SEO and various SEO skills in order to make them money, and in turn make you money for teaching them. And finally, SEO software. SEO software is creating a piece of software that performs a certain function for SEOs, and you sell it to them either at a one-time cost or at a monthly cost. So that's what I have for you today. That's how to make $200 or more a day at 17 or whatever age you happen to be with SEO. If you enjoyed this video and you like videos like this, do me a favor and subscribe. Click the subscribe button right below this video, or just go to superstarseo.tv. Once you've subscribed, go ahead and click the notification bell, so every day when I drop a new video for you, you'll get alerted right away, and you can be the guy that says that I heard about it first, just like some hipster that heard about the band before they got famous. So you definitely want to be that guy. I hope you enjoyed this. We have, what do we have? I don't know, we have like 2 weeks left in the 30-day video challenge, so keep watching, and I'll keep making videos. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.